What have been the big events or initiatives around the world to celebrate the International Year of the Cooperative?
Around the world, it's just quite phenomenal. If there is an international calendar of activities, and if you visit that on the international website, you'd be amazed that there is almost an event and an activity happening on every day of the year. There are certain events, such as the forthcoming International Day of Cooperatives, which is the 7th of the 7th, that are particular marking points in the year that the United Nations is using to remind people what this International Year is actually about. And as it happens, our own Foreign Minister, Minister Carr, will be at a high-level breakfast in New York that's being given by the Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, in honour of cooperatives. So it will be fantastic to hear the Australian Government speaking in support of cooperative businesses everywhere. We also do have some big major events that are celebrations, and they're coming towards the end of the year. We have a major economic summit in Quebec at the first part of October, which will look at the cooperative model of economy. And at the end of October, we will have the Manchester Expo and the final event for the year, the grand finale, if you like, and that's called Cooperatives United. And that also includes the global expo of cooperative businesses, like a giant trade show, if you like. So they're both very exciting and very large events.
And what's been taking place in Australia?
Our main focus, again, has been on raising the level of public awareness, but it's also been about engaging the cooperative and mutual and credit union sector. They're all wings of the same ethos of doing business. Getting them engaged in talking to the public, talking to their members, to their different stakeholders about the job that they're doing, both commercially and as social businesses. We've got an amazing calendar of events and activities throughout the year. We've got a national conference in October that will be really the premier event of the year, and will bring all of these different great cooperatives, nearly 2,000 of them in Australia, together for this event to celebrate, but also to talk about what it is that makes a difference in cooperative business. And we've also been very lucky that many other people working in the social innovation and social enterprise sector are also taking the opportunity to talk about how co-ops fit that particular model of social purpose development. And we're partnering under something called Big Co-op Conversations with many of these other organisations working in the social enterprise arena to talk about how co-ops can also be included in delivering on the many social issues that we have in our society.
What makes a cooperative business different?
The main thing that really distinguishes the cooperative model of business is this true triple bottom line. Cooperatives are owned by the same people who trade with them. So the customers, the clients, are also the members, the shareholders, if you like, of the cooperative. There is a structure that is one member, one vote. So everyone is democratically engaged in running the business, and they have the opportunity to influence what that business is about. Cooperatives distribute their profits in a very important way as well. They are very commercially successful, and they have to make money in order to deliver their social purpose. But their primary aim is not making money or making a profit for profit's sake. It's about running a business successfully in order to return that benefit, that dividend of the commercial activity, back to the members, to the very thing that the cooperative was set up to do. So if it's in the banking arena, for example, the whole purpose of a cooperative bank, a customer-owned bank or a credit union, is to deliver financial services. So any profit or surplus that the credit union makes from running its commercial activities very wisely and prudently will go straight back into better customer services, better delivery of financial banking services.
Can you tell us how long the cooperative movement has been established and what its aim is?
We can trace the beginning of the modern cooperative movement back to the middle of the 18th century with the Rochdale pioneers in the United Kingdom. That's when the structure of the business model was actually devised by these wonderful weavers in Rochdale in England. However, many people say that cooperativism or cooperatives actually started when people started coming together, living in villages, sharing the surplus democratically amongst the members of the village, of the tribe. That's really the very innate impulse that lies at the heart of cooperating. It's looking to the future and knowing that actually it's in my own self-interest to collaborate with other people to ensure that all our ends are met in the end.
Are there examples of well-developed cooperatives in Australia?
You'd be amazed to see that in some sectors, such as agribusiness, that 4 of the largest of our agricultural businesses are also cooperatives. We're looking at companies like Murray Goulburn, dairy farmers, cooperative bulk handling. We're looking at leaders in sectors such as automotive parts purchasing, like Capricorn. They're leaders in their own sectors, and they're also cooperatives, so they're owned by their members or by the farmers in the community. But cooperatives are present in all parts of the sector, and they're just as important at the community level. You might have, for example, a neighbourhood childcare centre which is cooperatively owned.
In the United Kingdom, the cooperative brand is very well recognised. What would it take for Australia to be that receptive?
I think we're well on our way to understanding that a more sustainable economy is a more diverse one in terms of the business enterprises that it has. Perhaps we are not quite as advanced strategically in terms of putting our sector forward, but we're certainly coming to understand that to have a stronger economy, we actually need to develop and grow the social business part of the sector, as well as other forms of enterprise, such as investor-owned companies or charities. So I think if we're going to get to perhaps the level of public awareness and government awareness that you're seeing in the UK in terms of the role of cooperatives and mutuals, we do need to set up our blueprint and our stepping stones to know how we're going to achieve each of these milestones as we go forward.
What are the growth areas in the cooperative sector in Australia?
I can give you the example of renewable energy. We have amazing opportunities for communities to own locally owned renewable energy businesses, such as Hepburn Wind in Daylesford in Victoria, where the community owns and runs a wind farm. That wind farm is now so successfully powering the town, as well as returning surplus energy back to the grid, which is profit for that community to grow that energy cooperative. Other areas are areas where the market is currently not servicing people very well. We might look to childcare, for example. People need affordable, well-run childcare, and cooperatives offer a great business solution for providing that. So we're seeing growth in the areas of social service delivery, aged care support, health delivery, childcare. These are all major opportunities. Townships which might be losing a community store, a pub, a petrol station because of a decline in that local economy can look to a cooperative or a community buyout to save that essential social and local service to make the town viable. So that's another area of growth.
Is the cooperative model the best model for business, or does it apply to specific contexts, sectors or industries?
I get asked this question quite a lot, and because I know that there is a cooperative in every sector that I've been able to think of, I actually don't think there's anywhere where the cooperative model isn't actually the better way of doing business. In some areas, such as the delivery of insurance, in banking, in consumer and retail services, cooperatives are a particularly good model, and they deliver that business, that enterprise very well, very commercially successful, but with this triple bottom line: returning the surplus and profit to the members or the customers, looking after the community, looking after the environment, and distributing the profit responsibly, if you like. We might look at something like football. Well, FC Barcelona, some say that the world's greatest football soccer team, is a cooperative.
Who does the model work well for? And who benefits?
Cooperatives succeed when the community is really engaged in the building of the business. You need a group of individuals who have come together with a common identified need and are prepared to work hard for a period of time to make sure that that business is built representing each of their individual needs, but also as a group. Some of the oldest businesses are cooperatives, and they have prevailed through time and through economic highs and lows because of that original groundwork that was done with the stakeholders of the business. Not disengaged investors as third parties, but the actual people who will get the benefit in the end from establishing the business.